Hey, it's Bill here, and here's my thoughts on a 4-3 overtime win for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I actually enjoyed this game. Now, I didn't get to watch it until after we played darts, but I got home. I knew it was going into overtime. I didn't know who won in overtime, but I know it was going in overtime when I got home, but I still watched it. I'm glad I did. I enjoyed this game. This is the first game that I've watched where I've actually enjoyed a Leaf game since I believe December 7th, because the Leafs competed. This was an enjoyable game. I did not want to watch Tiddlywinks or Pinochle or anything else. This was a good game. Why was it a good game? Because they competed. You will be surprised, all you people, if the Leafs compete and lose, I'm usually pretty good about it. You'd be surprised. But when they play bad and win, I don't enjoy it. Tonight, they competed. There were some mistakes. There were some penalties that cost the Leafs. However, overall, a good game for the Leafs. And they were rewarded with a 4-3 victory. Now, the first period, the first goal, we can talk about the first goal. I saw some of the nicknames. A couple of them I really did enjoy. I'll be honest with you. I like Nelson C. O'Reilly, but again, I'm trying to think that might be a little bit dated. For me, I know who the guy is. Was on Match Game. Glasses. Kind of acts like Morgan Riley does on the ice. I got it. I saw a couple Morgan Matthews, figure skater, but Morgan Matthews, what am I going to do with that? It's too close together. And then I like the Mo Curley reference, but again, a little bit dated. I'm going to hang with the Morgan Nelson C. O'Reilly right now, and on the first goal. Now, this is boneheaded on a lot of plays. The first goal for the New Jersey Devils. You're firing up the board. Steven Lorentz has to get it out. Now, a fourth line blowing his own doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The fourth line's responsibility should be defense. When you have David Kampf on the ice, Connor Dewar, and Steve Lorentz with, I think, a combined 5 goals, blowing the zone is not the way to play that. And you're up against the Luke Hughes line, Jack Hughes and Luke Hughes. You don't blow the zone. And especially when the forwards blow the zone, the defense can't blow the zone either. And Philip Myers and Nelson Morgan C. O'Reilly are up the ice. Next thing you know, it didn't even require a good play. Now, Lorentz is the big culprit on this. You have to protect that puck. But there's no way that Myers and Riley should be jumping into a rush that hasn't begun yet. And who doesn't know that Jack Hughes is sitting there waiting, and he had all time and all day, and he put a move on Wall, and it's 1-0. Boneheaded play to start off the game. Just boneheaded. Now, Morgan Riley is another -1. He is now -16 on the season, Nelson C. O'Reilly. I'm also going to put something else out there. Again, I thought he played horrible tonight. He had 7 shots on net. He played 24 minutes of ice time, and he had 0 hits. This is why I like the name Nelson Morgan C. O'Reilly. Because I don't think Nelson O'Reilly, if you ever saw him, would ever throw a hit ever in his life. Very humorous guy. But I don't think hitting anyone would be in his vocabulary, and it appears not to be in Morgan Riley's vocabulary. He got beat off the pucks a lot tonight. I didn't like his game whatsoever. I did not like... I'm doing a little bit negative at the beginning. I still enjoyed the game, but I also didn't like Connor Timmins' game tonight. I thought it was pretty poor. In terms of the forwards, I mean, you got a fourth line that really didn't offer a lot tonight. I don't know what the fourth line ice time was. Lorentz had 5 minutes of ice time. Kampf had 5 minutes of ice time. Dewar, so they're hardly on the ice, so how am I going to judge them? I thought the third line was Robertson. It was kind of put together. Robertson, Pacioretty, and Holmberg. I didn't mind their games tonight. I actually thought it was okay. Holmberg doesn't have off. I never want to see, as you know, no Holmberg anywhere above third line. There's nowhere needed. He's not going to be playing on the top six. He can't play on the top six. It drives me crazy when he plays on the top six because he gets to the right position, but when he gets the puck, it's a hot potato. Hop, pop, 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 pop. The third line didn't play horrible tonight. And I thought the second line, Domi, oh, Billy, but you forgot a major story that happened before the game. What's that? No. Johnny T! No, Johnny T! And the report, how are the Leafs going to survive without their second line centerman? How would they ever survive? Well, how did Nylander do tonight? I bet you Willie... Now, Willie was lazy for the majority of this game. Let's be honest. He was not very good. But you got to think, there's something... Even when Willie had the little interview, he's like, I like Max Domi because he gives me the puck. You don't think that was a little jab? A little jab? Maybe he had two line mates that he played with who didn't get him the puck, I guess. I don't know. Well, Willie had a pretty good night without Johnny T. How'd the Leafs do? This is the best game I've seen them play since December 7th. Also, and I cannot believe I'm saying, I really cannot believe I'm saying this. 2 years ago, if you told me I would say this, you'd be out of my mind. But the Leafs did miss Jake McCabe. Jake McCabe back in the lineup. Jake McCabe and Chris Tanev are a fantastic combination. And also a nice little tap on the shoulder to Tanev for the little skate getting mixed up with Johnny T. You give me 2 weeks of a little bit of relaxation. If I saw Fraser Minton got called up, maybe he gets in on the third line. Holmberg goes to... I don't know what you do, but I don't believe, and I might be mistaken. I might eat my words in 2 weeks from now, but I don't think the Leafs are going to miss Johnny T. Power play, how did it do without Johnny T? Oh, did McMahon get the puck and then make a pass with the puck? Like they passed it to him and he didn't lose it right away because Johnny T is where pucks go to die. Bobby McMahon handled the pass and passed it to Nylander, who took a shot and Matthew scored. That was a pretty good power play. Now, the first power play was god-awful because Willie was sleeping. Willie slept this game, but he did come up and get 2 goals. But it wasn't the greatest game by Nylander. And, of course, he comes out. Now he's got a no-shirt towel. Oh, he doesn't. It's 3 games, guys. Don't give a crap. Like, that's the kind of stuff that drives... I don't know how Chief Craig Strongbow friggin' coaches that kind of attitude. But anyways, Jack Hughes, I'm going to screw up their names, I guess. Jack Hughes scores the first goal and the second goal. That's a hell of an effort by Domi. You telling me, everyone out there, that Johnny T could have done what Domi did on that? Where he outskated, got the puck. See, it's the skating part. That's the key. Skating. Domi got the puck but was able to skate, and then he made a nice pass. I thought Domi was pretty good tonight. Maybe he's also excited. He's not playing. He gets to play with a Nylander who can actually pop it in the net. Makes a great play, pops it in the net, and then this will become a recurring theme. Oliver Ekman-Larsson takes a penalty, and a minute into that power play, it's a goal. Now, that goal. Now, first of all, the Devils have a dynamite power play. You take a look at the players, you can understand why. They move it around. And there were a couple opportunities to score, and I thought Wall made some nice saves. Now, this one it's a weird one because Hughes kind of uses Timmins as the screen to put it home. And I heard everyone, you want to get the goalie to get a save on that. But to me, that was we'll talk about Matthews' third goal, but that's a fantastic shot. Maybe I'm missing something, but he actually pulled it into the screen, got it through Timmins, and fired it at the perfect height where you have to get your glove down, and you can't get your pad up. It's like the perfect shot. So maybe I'm a little bit biased on that's a good... I wasn't sitting there going, wow, that's a horrible... Do you have to have that? I thought it was a pretty decent shot, and it's 2-1. Okay, you go into the third period, and again, I'm sitting there going, okay, they haven't played bad, but you like to see them come out and have a good third period, and they did. They had a pretty good third period. They were dancing around. They were doing some good stuff. They drew a penalty, And on the power play, as we said, the bumper person was Bobby McMann, not Johnny T. Did you see how the power play, how the puck entries were good tonight? Again, I wonder why. I wonder why. There must be a reason, right? There must be a reason. I can't put my finger on it. They came in with some speed. That might be a hint. Speed might be a hint. And they didn't pass it to a guy who bumbles the puck. Everyone got it? No, Johnny. And even on that play, Marner the pass to Bobby McMann was a hard, crisp pass. And Bobby McMann took it, and like someone who's got talent, makes a great pass to Nylander. Nylander rips it. Got Knies in front of the net. I thought Knies had a fantastic game tonight. I thought the Matthews line was great tonight. I'd still like to see Matthews with Nylander, not Marner, but great shot. Boom, in the net. 2-2. Yes. And then Oliver Ekman-Larsson takes a penalty on a horrible dump in by Connor Dewar. As I said, Connor Dewar, 5 minutes. Steve Lorenz, 5 minutes. David Camp, 5 minutes, and all -1s. That's not a great game for the fourth line. But again, so I'm struggling. There were a couple penalties tonight that weren't called that were crazy. There was a cross check on Marner. There was a couple other ones. There was a hit on. They friggin' threw Matthew Knies into the net. Timo Meier threw him into the net, and that wasn't a penalty. That was weird. But Ekman-Larsson, both his penalties were penalties. Definitely put a stick into Hischier's skates. And then it lost battle in front of the net on a power play. Nico Hischier scores about 2. I would like to know, was it the exact same amount of time between the time that the Leafs tied it and goals? So the first one was exactly 2 minutes, and the second one was 2 minutes and 1 second difference. So you had 2 minutes bang on, and then Oliver Ekman-Larsson 2 minutes and 1 second. So it's pretty much bang on. The exact same thing happened. And I just, oh my God. But the Leafs didn't stop pressuring. The last couple games, any goal or any kind of sense of they were done. And Austin Matthews, that's a shot. Now, I would argue that Markstrom should have had that. That was a way worse short side goal, but that's a perfect shot. That's what Matthews can do. Bam! 21 goals in 21 games against the Devils. That's like Malkin against the Leafs kind of stuff, or Ovechkin against the Leafs kind of stuff, or it used to be friggin' Josh Anderson, the only time he scored a goal was against the Leafs. That, just an amazing shot. And it's tied 3-3, and the Leafs were pushing. They were pushing. Had some great opportunities. Nylander had an opportunity. Even Riley had an opportunity. There were opportunities. You go to overtime. Okay. I'm thinking, like, honestly, I'm not joking. Mr. Negativity over here. I'm like, I'm actually enjoying this game. At no point did I say, hey, fast forward button. I was actually enjoying the game. And the overtime. And the Devils dominated the overtime for the first shift. Ring it off the post. They're putting around. And they must have had the worst line change in the history of line changes. I don't know. Matthews is tailing off. The Leafs are now getting McCabe off the ice. They're moving around. They're basically holding the pucks, until they can get their. And I'm sure if Nylander didn't pop open like he did, they would have made another pass. Marner would have got off the ice. They were looking to change, and somehow the Devils, in their brilliance, didn't take Nylander, who was wide open up the middle, and it was a great pass by Michy Baitano, and Nylander made Markstrom look silly. And the Leafs win 4-3, which I think was a well-deserved victory. One of the best games, again, I've seen them play since December 7th. So I tip my hat. Thank you, Leafs. I actually enjoyed watching this game. Now, they play the Montreal Canadiens on Saturday. I saw the Montreal Canadiens again, won. It's going to be Hockey Day in Canada, so it's going to be a whole bunch of nonsense about people on a pond, and Ron McLean's going to tell you about some dumb stories from 1927 where a particular tree was cut down to be carved into a piece of wood. It's going to be garbage. And I won't watch a single second of Hockey Day in Canada. But I will try to catch the games. What's the first game? I tend to watch a lot of the Hockey Day in Canada games. I do enjoy the actual fact that Canadian teams are playing against each other. The first game most likely will have the Ottawa Senators. Ottawa Senators are playing the Boston Bruins, I guess, because there's 7 Canadian teams. They can't all do it. So Bruins, Senators, yeah, I'll probably watch 3 o'clock. And then you got the Leafs, Canadians, Flames, Jets. I won't be watching the Flames, Jets. I'll watch the Canadians, and then obviously I'll watch the Oilers, Canucks afterwards. So I will talk to you on Saturday. Again, enjoyed the Leaf game for the first time in a while. Cheers.